The 2011 Dubai Festival of Motorsport was hosted once again at the Dubai Autodrome. The three national race series topped the bill, which meant that the crowds were treated to some incredible action from the UAE touring cars, UAE Sportbikes, and UAE GT series. Also on the bill over the weekend was the UAE Radical Cup, FG 1000 single-seaters, and races 1 and 2 of the Porsche GT3 Cup Middle East Series. Kicking off the racing was the Total UAE touring cars, and it was action right from the off. Just seconds after the lights went out in race 1, Rupesh Chanaki was spun on the main straight, resulting in restart. After a disappointing race weekend last time out, Mohamed Alouais pulled out a decisive lead over Class 1 rivals Kostas Pampantonis, Nader Zuhur, and Martin Johnson. Pampantonis started well, just behind Alouais, but dropped right off the pace to let Zuhur and Johnson through. This secured Johnson's third spot, behind Zuhur in second, and Alouais taking the checkered flag first. In Class 2, the battle early on for the lead was between Aslam Mullah, Omer Khan, and Jonathan Mullah, with Khan and Mullah eventually breaking away. Khan seemed to be dominating until lap 6 when Mullah slipped past to take the lead, a position he held on to until the checkered flag. It wasn't to be Khan's day, as Spencer van der Poel began to storm through the field and pass the lap 57 driver. This gave van der Poel his first podium of the season, a well-earned second place, with Khan following in third. Race 2 on Saturday was no less exciting, with the Class 1 cars closely grouped early on, headed up by Alouais. Then a shunt between Spencer van der Poel and Abbas Alawari, midfield, brought out a code 60. On the restart, it was Nader Zuhur who got the jump to finally take the checkered flag, but he was chased all the way by Alouais.
Today a little bit different strategy. It worked good in the race, and thank God I got the pole position and won the race.
Just behind them, and Pampantonis and Johnson were exchanging paintwork, but the Greek driver managed to pull away from Johnson to secure his third. In Class 2, following the code 60, it was Khan in the lap 57 Honda who edged past Mullah's Emirates Racing Team Integra and led the Class 2 cars over the line. Meanwhile, Rupesh Chanaki's team had repaired his car overnight, and he was back on form, crossing the finish line in third place. In the Motor City UAE Sportbike Championship, it was a perfect weekend for Lebanese Triumph rider Mahmoud Tanir. In race 1, he beat his 600cc Vendetta Racing teammate Alan Boyter by a decisive 13 seconds, the largest gap between them so far this season. Behind the Triumph pairing, and once again, Joe Oxley and Steve Blackney were slugging it out, with Oxley eventually taking third place on the podium. Chris Morley continued his unbeaten streak of wins in the rookie class, while Surya Raja and Ian Woolcock in second and third are showing themselves to be pretty handy racers. In the 1000cc category, Gernot Dobida saw off Nasser Al-Shaiba for the win. The Emirati racer on the BMW slid off early on, leaving Dobida to cruise home to victory. Race 2, and Tanner proved himself again, this time coming back through the field after a terrible start, and eventually passing his struggling Boyter on the penultimate lap.
You know, when I saw that the distance coming closer to Alan, I saw a very good chance of winning, and you know, you have to take a chance. I mean, you have to push yourself, and this is what we train for. And you know, if you want to win, you have to try. You can't just sit there.
Not far behind them, and Erika Savikas secured his first podium of the season in the 600cc class. Chris Morley was unbeatable at the head of the rookies and was chased home once again by Surya Raja and Ian Woolcock. The main event of the weekend was round 2 of the NGK UAE GT Championship. 3 GTA cars lined up on the grid, headed by the Dragon Incorporated Ferrari 458 on pole. In a carbon copy of round 1, as the lights went out, it was Rob Barf in the Ferrari who stormed out in front. Behind him, and the Porsche of Clemens Schmid and Andreas Merrill led the chasing pack ahead of the Omani-British pairing on Ahmed Al-Harthi and James Sutton. Once again, it was a disappointing day for Bassem Konfli and Raed Hassan in their new TAM Auto Engineering Corvette, which was forced to retire on lap 19. But other local racers were more fortunate. Sheikh Hashid Al Maktoum and Saeed Al Maheri in the Yas Marina Aston Martin GT4 kept their heads down to win in the GTC class. Meanwhile, ahead of them, and Al-Harthi and Sutton pulled out all the stops to finish second overall, behind the GTA Ferrari. This finish put them first in the GT3 class, ahead of stiff international competition.
Very happy with our win. You know, the car's been out 5 times, 5 poles, 5 wins, UK and here now, so we're really pleased with that.
So another great weekend of track action, and there's more where that came from at round 4 of the UAE National Race Day Series. Join us again.